moon and prove that he was clever enough to outsmart her. With confidence, the fox called out to the moon, his voice echoing softly in the night. "Oh, beautiful moon," he shouted. "I've come to challenge you to a game of wits." The moon, intrigued by the fox's boldness, responded from above her voice, a soft and melodic echo. "What kind of game do you propose, clever fox?" With a mischievous grin, the fox elaborated on his proposal. "Let's see who can shine brighter, your light against my cunning mind." The moon accepted the challenge, her glow intensifying with excitement. "Very well, fox. Share your first riddle, and may the best one win." With a theatrical flourish, the fox presented his riddle to the moon. "I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no room. I have you, but no me. What am I?" The moon took a moment, her glow flickering as she contemplated the riddle. After a pause, she replied, "Is it a piano?" With a playful laugh, the fox shook his head, responding, "Not quite, dear moon. The answer is a computer." He watched as the moon's face lit up with surprise. Accepting her defeat with grace, the moon remarked, "A clever riddle indeed, fox. Now it is my turn to challenge you." With a flourish, the moon began. "Listen closely, clever fox. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" The fox paused, contemplating the riddle. "I know this one!" he exclaimed. "The answer is an echo." The moon laughed, her voice melodious, as she replied, "Well done, fox. You truly are clever." The night air was filled with a sense of playful rivalry.
Once upon a time, in the heart of the African savannah, a mighty lion ruled the land, fierce and proud, who one day found himself disturbed by a tiny rat racing across his paw. The lion was about to crush the little creature when the rat squeaked loudly, begging for mercy and promising that one day he could repay the lion's kindness. The lion laughed at the idea, thinking it absurd that such a small creature could ever help him, and with a dismissive wave of his paw, he let the rat go free. But fate had other plans. Not long after, the mighty lion found himself ensnared in a hunter's trap, unable to escape despite his strength. Just then, the little rat returned, undeterred by the lion's size, and began gnawing at the ropes, determined to free his friend. With perseverance and courage, the rat chewed through the cords until finally the lion was free, surprised by the power of friendship. From that day forward, the lion learned that no act of kindness is ever wasted, and that even the smallest friends can make a big difference.
Once upon a time in the mountains of Anatolia, a clever fox and a greedy wolf became friends. They would often go hunting together and share what they found. One winter, food became scarce. The fox was smart and cautious, while the wolf was strong but greedy. One day they came across a village well where the villagers had tied a bucket to fetch water. At the bottom of the well, there was a little meat left by mistake. The wolf licked his lips. "I'll go down and eat it all," he said. The fox warned, "Be careful, my friend. Getting in is easy, but getting out, not so much." Ignoring the fox's warning, the wolf jumped into the well, eager to feast on the forgotten meat. At first, the wolf was delighted, gobbling up the meat without a care in the world. But soon he realized that he was trapped. The walls were too steep and slippery to climb. The clever fox called down, "Don't worry, I'll think of something." He began to search for a way to help his friend, eager to find a solution. Finally, the fox spotted a strong branch nearby and rushed back to the well, determined to save the wolf. He carefully lowered the branch down into the well, calling out, "Grab hold of this, my friend!" The wolf clutched the branch tightly, pulling with all his strength, eager to escape the cold depths. With each pull, the wolf got closer to freedom, encouraged by the fox's supportive shouts. At last, the wolf climbed out of the well, shaking off the water and filling the air with joyous barks. Relieved and thankful, the wolf said, "I should have listened to you, my wise friend. Thank you for saving me." The fox replied, "Always think before you leap, my friend. We are stronger together when we use our heads." From that day on, the wolf learned to be more careful, and the two friends ventured through the winter woods, always watching out for each other. Together, they made a great team, combining the fox's cleverness with the wolf's strength. Every day brought new adventures and lessons as they explored the woods and shared their skills. Their partnership not only provided food, but also strengthened their friendship as they shared their bounty together. As spring blossomed into life, their bond deepened, filled with trust and mutual respect. They spent countless afternoons playing and exploring, discovering new paths and shared thrills. With each adventure, the fox taught the wolf the wisdom of the forest, making their journey safer and more enjoyable. The wolf grew stronger and more skilled, surprising himself with his abilities thanks to the encouragement of his clever. Freddy the Frog lived near a pond but was terrible at swimming. While other frogs did backflips, Freddy just sank like a wet rock. So he signed up for swimming lessons with the ducks. The duck instructor said, "Flap your feet." Freddy flapped. He spun in circles like a frog in a blender. Eventually, Freddy gave up and sat on a lily pad eating flies. "Swimming's overrated," he said. "Snacking is my true talent." Freddy felt quite satisfied as he munched on the flies, realizing that not everyone had to be a great swimmer. The sun shone down, and he watched as his friends swam effortlessly, splashing joyfully in the water. Though they were skilled in swimming, Freddy found joy in his unique talent for snacking. He thought to himself that every frog has its strengths, and his just happened to be enjoying delicious treats. As Freddy enjoyed his feast, a few curious ducklings waddled over their eyes, sparkling with curiosity. He couldn't help but share some of his tasty flies with them. The little ducklings listened intently as Freddy animatedly shared stories about his adventures, making them laugh with his silly antics. In that moment, Freddy realized that he had found joy not just in snacking, but also in sharing moments with his new friends. One sunny afternoon, Freddy decided to host a picnic by the pond, inviting the ducklings to join him. They feasted on tiny sandwiches made of leaves and flowers, giggling as they shared their treats. After eating, they played a game of leapfrog with the ducklings, trying their best to hop over Freddy. Laughter filled the air as Freddy encouraged them, realizing that friendship and fun were far more rewarding than any backflip. After their lively game of leapfrog, Freddy and the ducklings lay back on the soft grass, breathing in the warm evening air. They shared stories and laughter, basking in the joy of friendship. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they watched the reflection dance on the water's surface. In that tranquil moment, Freddy felt a sense of belonging, knowing that he didn't need to flip or swim perfectly. He just needed to be himself, surrounded by friends. Feeling inspired, Freddy introduced the ducklings to a new game using floating leaves as makeshift rafts. With great enthusiasm, he showed them how to balance on the leaves while attempting to paddle around in the pond. The ducklings, eager to join in, hopped on their own leaves, their laughter echoing as they wobbled and splashed one another, creating ripples of joy in the water. Freddy watched with delight, knowing that these little moments of fun were what truly mattered.
Once upon a time, in a sunny farmyard, there lived a donkey who believed he was the fastest creature around, so much so that he dared to challenge a proud horse to a race. The other animals gathered around their whispers, trailing through the air, some chuckling at the thought of a donkey racing against such a majestic horse. As the race began, the sound of a loud whistle echoed, and off they went, the donkey bolting forward with surprising speed, certain that he could outpace the horse. With every stride, the donkey felt the thrill of speed, convinced that no one could match his quickness, while the horse watched him with a calm demeanor. As the finish line approached, the donkey couldn't help but feel invincible, believing that his speed would secure him victory over the seasoned horse. But just as the donkey thought he would win, the horse unleashed its full potential, surging forward with incredible speed, surprising everyone watching the race. In an exhilarating moment, the donkey realized that perhaps he had underestimated his opponent as the horse crossed the finish line with grace and speed. Once upon a time, a hungry dog was wandering around in search of food. After a long search, he found a juicy piece of meat. Delighted, he grabbed it in his mouth and started crossing a bridge over a river to go home and enjoy his meal. As he walked across the bridge, he looked down into the river and saw his own reflection. Thinking it was another dog with a bigger piece of meat, he grew greedy and wanted that piece too. He barked at the other dog to scare it away and grabbed the meat. But as he opened his mouth to bark, his own piece of meat fell into the river and was lost. Now he had nothing. The greedy dog learned a valuable lesson about envy and loss. From that day on, he vowed to appreciate what he had and not to let greed overshadow his happiness. With a newfound understanding, the dog set off in search of a different kind of adventure. Every step was lighter, filled with the promise of new discoveries and friendships. Once upon a time, a hungry dog was wandering around in search of food. After a long search, he found a juicy piece of meat. Delighted, he grabbed it in his mouth and started crossing a bridge over a river to go home and enjoy his meal. As he walked across the bridge, he looked down into the river and saw his own reflection. Thinking it was another dog with a bigger piece of meat, he grew greedy and wanted that piece too.
Once there was a leopard who stumbled upon a magical hat which gave him the power to irritate all the creatures in the jungle. With this new-found ability, he began to play tricks and cause chaos, making life unbearable for everyone around him. Frustrated and fearful, the animals convened a meeting under the tall trees to devise a plan to catch the leopard and put an end to his reign of irritation. As the meeting progressed, the animals mapped out their strategy, each sharing ideas on how to catch the troublesome leopard. The wise old owl, known for his intelligence, suggested they use their unique strengths to outsmart him, reminding everyone that teamwork was their greatest asset. With a plan in place, the animals took their positions, hearts racing with anticipation as they hid among the foliage. Meanwhile, the leopard strutted through the jungle full of confidence, completely oblivious to the gathering storm of creatures waiting to confront him. In a moment of unison, the animals sprang from their hiding places, catching the leopard by surprise and surrounding him with sheep. Once upon a time, there was a crocodile who loved to eat fish, living in a serene river where the sun sparkled on the water. Every day, the crocodile would patiently hide beneath the water, blending in with the surroundings, waiting for the fish to come closer. With a swift motion, the crocodile would leap from the depths, capturing its meal with precision and strength, relishing each catch. After a hearty meal, the crocodile would lounge on the riverbank, feeling satisfied, while the sunset painted the sky, reminding him of his adventures. Though full, the crocodile always kept an eye on the playful fish, dreaming of its next meal and planning its next stealthy approach. With the sun high in the sky, the crocodile expertly navigated the river, preparing for another attempt to catch its favorite meal. In an exhilarating moment, the crocodile launched itself from the water, triumphantly snatching a fish that had leaped into the air. Victorious once again, the crocodile basked in the sun with its fresh catch, feeling proud of its skills and the abundance the river provided. In a quaint little house on the edge of town, there lived a curious cat named Whiskers, who stumbled upon a pair of magical shoes that promised adventure beyond his wildest dreams. Intrigued by the dazzling aura, Whiskers reached out with a cautious paw, and to his amazement, the shoes began to tremble, promising a journey that was about to change his life forever. With a sudden flash, the shoes transported Whiskers to a fantastical world, brimming with color and wonder, where he met friendly creatures who shared tales of magic and adventure. As Whiskers conversed with the wise old owl, he learned that the shoes held the power to fulfill dreams, but only for those brave enough to embrace their true selves. Feeling a surge of bravery, Whiskers decided to take a leap of faith, hoping to discover the true magic that lay beyond the river, eager to chase his dreams. With a sense of triumph, Whiskers found himself in a realm of wonder where fairies flitted about, inviting him to join their magical festivities and explore the limitless possibilities of his journey. In a lush green forest, there was a crow who longed for beauty and decided to wear peacock wings to impress others. But instead of admiration, he faced laughter and mockery from his fellow birds. With each passing day, the crow felt the weight of the ridicule and began to doubt himself, realizing that true beauty comes from within and not from the feathers one wears. As the crow let go of the false adornments, he discovered the strength of his own identity, gaining respect from those who had once mocked him, showing that authenticity is more beautiful than imitation. Flying high with a renewed spirit, the crow found joy in being himself, realizing that true friends appreciate you for who you are, not for the extravagant things you try to wear. In that glorious moment, the crow understood that belonging comes from embracing one's uniqueness, and he felt a sense of fulfillment that transcended any fleeting facade. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the forest, the crow knew he had found his place among those who valued authenticity, learning that beauty is best when it comes from the heart. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a raccoon named Rocky believes he is destined for greatness, inspired by tales of heroes. Each night he dons a makeshift mask and cape, determined to combat what he perceives as trash-related crime. Armed with nothing but courage and a keen sense of justice, Rocky prowls the neighborhood, investigating every noise and scent. Tonight, he has his sights set on a particularly troublesome trash can that has been raided by litterbugs. With a flair for the dramatic, Rocky leaps into action, scaring away the mischievous squirrels. He stands firm, shouting words of encouragement to the nearby raccoons, rallying them to join his cause against those who disrespected their home. As he gains supporters, Rocky becomes a symbol of hope for all raccoons in the area. Together they form a ragtag team patrolling the neighborhood and ensuring that no litterbug goes unchallenged. Planning their next move, Rocky devises clever traps to catch those who would dare to litter. He knows that together they can make a real difference and show everyone that they are not just ordinary raccoons. To their amazement, their trap works better than expected, catching a clueless dog instead of a litterbug. Rocky can't help but burst into laughter, realizing that even unexpected events can lead to memorable triumphs. Instead of causing trouble, Rocky decides to make amends with the dog, offering him a snack in a spirit of friendship. That night they learn that sometimes alliances can be forged in the most unexpected ways. With their new friendship blossoming, Rocky leads his canine companion through the neighborhood, introducing him to fellow raccoons. Together, they create a sense of community where different creatures come together for a common cause. As the night unfolds, Rocky and his friends host a picnic in the park, inviting all their animal neighbors to join in the festivities. Laughter fills the air as they share stories and treats, building a bond that transcends their differences. Standing tall on the picnic table, Rocky addresses the crowd, encouraging everyone to work together to keep their neighborhood clean and safe. His passionate words resonate, igniting a shared purpose among the diverse group of animals. In a sunlit savanna, a clever crow watches a lazy lion sprawled out in the grass, seemingly uninterested in the world around him. The crow, with bright eyes full of mischief, hatches a plan to outwit the mighty beast. The clever crow swoops down to the watering hole, searching for a delicious morsel to bait the lazy lion. As the lion lazily stretches, he remains blissfully unaware of the cunning crow's scheme taking shape. With great determination, the crow snatches a juicy piece of meat ready to bait the slothful lion. The lion, now alert and intrigued, watches the clever bird with growing interest as it hovers, meat in tow. The cunning crow drops the meat near the lion, hoping to pique its interest further. The lazy lion, now fully awake and tempted by the smell of food, rises with a predatory grace, prepared to seize the opportunity. With a powerful leap, the lion lunges toward the tempting meat, eager to satisfy. Perched safely on a branch above the crow cause, triumphantly relishing in its clever victory over the mighty lion. The lion, now seated and bewildered, contemplates the trickery that just unfolded before its eyes. Filled with a sense of triumph, the crow fluffs its feathers and caws, joyfully celebrating its clever victory, while the lion remains perplexed by the events. As the sun sets, casting a golden hue over the savannah, the crow takes off, leaving the confused lion to reflect on its unexpected defeat. With wings outstretched, the crow ascends into the twilight sky, becoming a mere silhouette against the brilliant sunset. The lion, now tranquil and reflecting, observes the crow vanish into the distance, feeling a blend of respect and annoyance for the clever bird that outsmarted it. The crow perches on a cozy branch, its face radiating satisfaction as the stars start to emerge in the evening sky. Below, the lion relaxes once more in the grass, contemplating the intelligence of the crow and the unexpected turn of events. Under the vast expanse of twinkling stars, the crow gazes upward, savoring the sweet taste of victory and accomplishment. Meanwhile, the lion reclines in the grass, eyes closed as a soft breeze stirs, allowing it to ponder the day's amusing escapade. As the gentle breeze dances through the leaves, the crow enjoys the serene ambience of the deepening night. Below, the lion opens its eyes, gazing up at the stars with a thoughtful expression, pondering the unpredictable nature of life and the day's events. Before settling in for the night, the crow stretches its wings one final time, satisfaction evident on its face. The lion rises, shaking its mane and preparing for the new day to come, casting a glance at the tree where the clever crow now sleeps. With a contented sigh, the crow tucks its head under a wing, enveloped by the soothing sounds of the night and drifting into peaceful dreams. The lion, moving gracefully away, fades into the savannah's shadows, deep in thought about the clever mischief that had transpired under the moon's silvery light. Bathed in the moon's soft glow, the crow sleeps soundly in the tree, its feathers shimmering gently in the light. At the same time, the lion stops at a waterhole, staring into the still surface and contemplating the night's mysteries reflected above. As the crow shifts slightly in its slumber, the soothing rustle of leaves above encourages it to sink deeper into dreams. Meanwhile, the lion bends down to sip from the waterhole, its reflection blending with the twinkling stars, capturing a moment of serene beauty. Awakening with a start, the crow becomes alert and curious as the first light of dawn gently filters through the canopy. The lion, too, senses a shift in the atmosphere, raising its head to observe the sky being brushed with golden hues of morning. The crow fluffs its feathers in preparation for flight, basking in the warm glow of the morning sun that brightens its surroundings. The lion stretches its limbs, shaking off the last traces of slumber as it gazes at the horizon, ready for the adventures the new day will bring. The lion sits down deep in thought, its golden mane glinting in the sunlight, while it crafts a clever plan to outwit the crow. Meanwhile, in the distance, the fox approaches, its bright eyes sparkling with curiosity, eager to discover what scheme the lion has in mind. The lion animatedly shares its clever plan with the fox, gesturing as it speaks, while the fox listens with keen interest, captivated by the idea. With enthusiasm, the fox nods its bushy tail, wagging as it contributes suggestions, eager to be a part of the lion's clever scheme. Under the protective shade of a large tree, the lion and the fox strategize, their serious expressions conveying the importance of each detail in their plan. Meanwhile, the crow observes from afar, its beady eyes narrowed in suspicion as it attempts to uncover the intentions of the two conspirators. With a sense of resolve, the lion and the fox finalize their plan, shaking paws in a gesture of camaraderie that strengthens their alliance. The crow, filled with suspicion, fluffs its feathers and launches into the sky, circling overhead to keep a vigilant eye on the lion and the fox below. With the clever guidance of the fox, the mighty lion schemed to outsmart the proud crow, reminding him never to boast too much, for cleverness often triumphs over arrogance. As the fox and lion approached silently, the crow continued to flaunt its arrogance, unaware that cunning was about to outwit pride. With a swift and powerful leap, the lion captured the crow, demonstrating that wisdom often eclipses foolish pride, as the fox chuckled at their clever victory. The lion turned to the crow, delivering a lesson in humility, reminding it that pride comes before a fall, for the fox's cleverness had proven superior. Realizing its mistake, the crow acknowledged the lion's words, understanding that true wisdom lies in humility, while the fox stood by, proud of their clever plan. As the lion and the fox moved forward, a new bond formed between them, united in their cleverness, while the crow reflected on the valuable lesson learned about the dangers of excessive pride. In the warmth of the afternoon sun, the lion and fox reveled in their cleverness, while the crow recognized that humility could pave the way for growth and understanding.